The following is an article I found on the web that I thought was interesting and thought-provoking. I am not affiliated with the website in any way. worldwideweb.sundaylawmystuff.com/make.htm. Make America Catholic. Papal Rome has always stated her intention to make America Catholic. Point. Our work is to make America Catholic. Point. And our hearts shall leap toward it with crusader enthusiasm. Bishop Ireland, Baltimore Catholic Council, 1890. With this in mind, the Jesuits successfully established the Federal Reserve Bank, using proxies as a front. Yes, the Federal Reserve Bank is privately owned. The Bank of America likewise is owned by the Jesuits. In the USA, a Protestant land, the majority of people in power are Roman Catholic. By 1994, in the US, the following had become reality: Congress, majority Roman Catholic. Supreme Court, majority Roman Catholic. President's Cabinet, majority Roman Catholic. Members of the Pentagon, majority Roman Catholic. Every U.S. lawyer is now taught at a Jesuit-run law school or by Jesuit-trained teachers. The consequence is that judges now interpret ambiguous laws according to Catholic canon law and not British common law. However, Roman Catholics are still only 26% minority in the American population. But on the south side is Mexico, 90% Roman Catholic, and on the north side Canada, 43% Roman Catholic. How could the process of making of America Catholic be hastened? Answered: unite the three into one new nation. Abolish the USA. And so the Council on Foreign Relations produced a document requiring President Bush and the U.S. Congress to dissolve the 225-year-old United States as an independent nation. The CFR has even published its plan in a book, entitled Building a North American Community. Offered by 3 elite members of the New York-based organization, the book calls for the ending of American sovereignty and the overthrow of the American Constitution and government. The CFR's membership demands that, by the year 2010, 1. A new currency, called the Amero, replace the dollar. 2. All borders between Mexico, the U.S.A., and Canada be erased and the Border Patrol retired. 3. A North American Parliament group composed of Mexican politicians and U.S. Quislings take over legislative authority, superseding the U.S. Senate and House. 4. The 50 existing American states will be formally dissolved and the former U.S.A. will be divided into 10 weakened administrative regions. Some will have Mexican leaders appointed over the local, formerly American citizens. worldwideweb.cfr.org/worldwideweb.spp.gov/ President George Bush, Mexican President Vincent Fox, and the Canadian Prime Minister Paul M. met in Waco, Texas, March 23, 2005, and signed a secret pact called the Security and Prosperity Partnership. That pact, prepared by CFR and Bilderberg administrators, sets forth step by step what each nation must do to ensure the new, merged nation, the North American Union, is fully operational by the year 2010. On August 20, 2007, after a personal meeting in the Vatican with the Pope on June 8, President Bush met once again with the leaders of Canada and Mexico at Montebello, near Ottawa, Canada. Washington Times, August 20, 2007, by John Ward, Ottawa, Canada. Mexico's President Fox shocked many in the U.S. when he told CNN's Larry Kim that he and President Bush had agreed to work toward a common currency not only for North America but for Latin America as well. Transcript of interview with Vicente Fox. Furious Congress members leak info. Thursday, March 13, 2008 was only the 4th time in history that Congress closed its doors to the public. Some members of Congress were so furious about what was discussed that they leaked the information they were forbidden to speak about. Not only did members discuss new surveillance provisions, as was the publicly stated reason for the closed-door session, they also discussed, 1. The imminent collapse of the U.S. economy to occur by a predetermined date. 2. The imminent collapse of the U.S. federal government finances by a predetermined date. 3. The possibility of civil war inside the USA as a result of the collapse. 4. Advance roundups of insurgent U.S. citizens likely to move against the GOVT. 5. The detention of those rounded up at Rex 84-point camps constructed throughout the U.S.A. 6. The possibility of retaliation against members of Congress for the collapse. 7. The location of safe facilities for members of Congress and their families to reside during expected massive civil unrest. 8. The necessary and unavoidable merger of the United States with Canada, for its natural resources, and with Mexico, for its cheap labor pool. 9. The issuance of a new currency, the Amero, for all 3 nations, as the proposed solution to the coming economic Armageddon. Hal Turner. North Carolina is the first state to begin activating the plan. They have now issued a driver's license bearing the logo of the North American Union. Short transcript. Secret Sunday Law Meeting. The Christian Coalition, along with Christian Churches Together and Catholic Campaign for America, has developed a 10-point agenda for America that they want to implement at the federal and state levels by law. The 7th Amendment on their list is a call for a national day of rest, undoubtedly, Sunday. These 3 religious organizations were involved in a secret meeting in Washington, D.C. last November 15. The 14 people that met together comprised 7 from the Christian Coalition, 2 from Christian Churches Together, and 2 from Catholic Campaign for America, plus Nancy Pelosi, Speaker in the U.S. government, House of Representatives, and a Vatican cardinal. The purpose of the meeting, among other things, was to motivate Christian leaders and legislatures to bring to the forefront, in the Congress and state by state, a national day of rest. American government and SAS security agents instructed that no one was to take any recording devices or cameras into the meeting, and that nothing will be released for publication until the Vatican had approved it. Addressing the group, the Cardinal said that America is the second Israel. We must work with the state legislatures to appropriately help them to understand that all the immorality and slime must be stopped, and that we must work together in unison to show our Lord that this must be stopped. With the amendments list in his hand, the Cardinal said that there would be more said on this when His Holiness, Benedict XVI, would be here in Washington in April to meet with President Bush and also to meet with some of these same Christian leaders at the Senate office building on April 17. Some of the things that we at the Vatican are concerned about, he said, is what is happening here, in America, to the Lord's Day, concerning sporting events and all kind of calls for different things to be done. As you know, the Lord's Day is used in a blatant way against our God, when the people must be told that this day must be kept holy. You must work together, as leaders of this nation. As goes this nation, so goes the world. And why would Russia, Iran, Israel, China follow? It is well documented that Rome's should sit at the highest government levels of those countries. Don't judge by apparent hostility between them. Rome is in control. Later, the Christian Coalition issued a communique in which it used the same words the Cardinal used at the secret meeting, such as immoral slime and America, the second Israel. We must show our Lord that we will work together. Point, etc. The emphasis of the communique was the same as the Cardinal's emphasis: protect the Lord's Day. The evangelicals are taking lessons from Rome as well as instructions. They copy her. They are setting up a mirror image of her. Rome has nearly 2,000 years of experience at this process of uniting church and state, and they are coaching non-Catholic religious leaders and helping them build up their political power. Some important things that must be in place before a national Sunday law is enforced. Firstly, there has to be a general crisis that generates a good deal of fear, a crisis of global proportions. Secondly, there must be a newly unshakable cooperation between the religious forces in the United States with the government, including the Vatican, perhaps even led by the Vatican at least behind the scenes, so that they can cooperate together without fear of being thwarted. Thirdly, there must be secrecy about the matter, so that it isn't agitated widely until there is nothing that can be done to stop the rolling freight train once it gets on the open track. Our Lord has been holding back the winds of strife so that God's people can prepare. But the time to let them go is almost here. Allegiance sworn to Rome. Ministry of State said that during the April visit to the United States by Pope Benedict XVI, both the American President, George Bush, and Britain's Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, knelt before the Roman Pontiff and swore their allegiance to the new Holy Roman Empire in a move designed to destroy the borders of all Western nations, as they prepare for total war against the Muslim and Eastern power blocs in the world. worldwideweb.sundaylawbystelf.com/make.htm